We got tons of news about Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2 to go over in today's video, so let's not waste any time. Let's dive straight into one of the bigger announcements from yesterday. The story mode got its official reveal trailer, and by the way, if I can throw my opinion out there, story mode's looking rather good. If I had any tiny nitpicks about it, here's a quick screenshot. Just look at this, for example. I hope you can understand where I'm coming from. But on this screenshot, we will see 3 of the exact same Foot Clan Soldier battle icons right here, and right here. And what I'm getting at is, if this is going to be the exact same battle, if you're just going to fight a Foot Clan soldier, or if it's just going to be like 10 Foot Clan soldiers that you battle like one after another, if it's going to be the exact same fight many times throughout this story mode, it might get really repetitive very quickly, and to me that would severely lessen the fun of the story mode. So I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping that they're able to change it up and mix up what these Foot Clan battles may end up being. So just one thing I wanted to throw out there that I did notice. And another thing that people might have noticed, I'm not playing the audio of it, but during the story mode trailer itself, Gur from Invader Zim actually had, we got to hear his voice lines, and the voice was totally wrong. The voice was off. It just wasn't the character who it should have been, right? So Thaddeus Cruz over on Twitter actually addressed this a little bit, where somebody did say, hey, you forgot to pitch up Gur's voice. And Thaddeus did say that he'll be honest, Thaddeus thought that they actually had the wrong voice actor at the time. But then here's what Thaddeus replied to himself with, which I thought was a little weird. He said it's in the process of being addressed, and they have no clue if it'll even make it into the day one patch. And it wouldn't be the first time one of these games launched with a cursed content. Well, first of all, that's not something to be proud of. And second, what was that, like 2 weeks ago I made a video and I was kind of saying, hey, this game is kind of showing some red flags that it's not quite ready to be released yet. Case in point, if the game has a voice that isn't the correct voice of the character, that just kind of goes to show, again, it's not quite ready. Hold off on it just a little bit longer. Make sure these things get polished. Make sure people actually notice this. And with that, he is saying he doesn't even know if it'll make it into the day one patch. It gets me a little worried about the rest of the game, but, you know, that's just kind of that for now. Now let's talk about the DLC characters. The first 4 that have been officially revealed, and I said first 4 because we have some information about more than 4 DLC characters coming. I'll get to that in a minute, but here's what we got officially revealed. Mr. Krabs, Zuko, Iroh, or is it Iroh? I always forget. But we got 2 Firebenders from Avatar, and then of course we got Rocksteady from the Ninja Turtles. So when I say this, what I'm about to say, it's not about the characters themselves that got selected. I like Mr. Krabs. I like Zuko as much as the next dude. Trust me, they were on my most wanted list. But when I say I was a tiny bit disappointed with how it was determined, how the characters were chosen, I mean that in terms of variety. We didn't get a single new franchise repped in DLC. Not a single new character. Let that sink in for a second. Out of 4 characters, 2 of them happen to be Avatar characters. Again, I'm not saying Avatar doesn't deserve it. I'm not saying Zuko and Iroh, whatever his name is, I'm not saying they don't deserve it. No. I'm just saying more variety would have been cool. Even just 1 new character. Or heck, even if you wanted to go with 2 Avatar characters, why did you have to go with 2 Firebenders? Why couldn't you do a Firebender and a Waterbender? Why couldn't you do a Firebender and have Toph return? You know, so that's my tiny little nitpick. I was a tiny bit disappointed that there wasn't more variety and there wasn't more new even just 1 new series being represented would have been really awesome. But we do have our DLC characters, so I will leave that at that. And here's one more thing about the DLC characters that Thaddeus himself chimed in on. So if anybody was ever wondering about background characters and if that rules them out, well, Thaddeus put that to bed, where he says, thank God this got officially revealed, so I can now hopefully drill this in once and for all. Being a background character does not, never has, and never will disqualify a character from appearing in the main roster. You can already have 4 of the same guys on stage, so what's 1 more? And that's a perfect point. If they're a background character, they're just there to add a little bit more, I don't know, ambiance, a little bit more flavor to the stage to make it feel a little bit more authentic. Perfect. So I'm hoping, and this is going to be speculation on my part, maybe that could stretch even a bit further from background characters to, say, NPCs or boss characters. For those of you who don't know, Shredder is a boss in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. Shredder is not a returning character. So, if anyone's hoping to still see Shredder, hopefully this same sort of sentiment kind of can translate into bosses and then becoming playable characters at some point. So that's me speculating, but it would be cool to see. But Thaddeus at least tells us background characters, they're always on the table. Just because they're in the background, that doesn't cancel them out. That doesn't mean nothing. Now the biggest piece of news, I think this is the biggest piece of the news for the video. More than 4 DLC characters will be happening. Now, who are the next ones after the 4 that have been officially revealed? We don't have identities yet, but we do have a confirmation 4 brand new characters will be coming. So here's Nacho, a Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2 game designer, telling us himself with this tweet. We also got 4 brand new brawlers in the works. Stay tuned for more info in the future. So we don't know who. I don't know if this confirms a season pass 2 or if this will just kind of be more characters that kind of get sprinkled in and rolled out whenever they're ready to go. I'm not sure, but essentially this is saying we will have 8 characters for DLC. As long as I'm reading that right? He quote tweeted the 4 characters that we just seen and then says they got 4 brand new brawlers in the works as well. So there you go. 8 total characters at least for Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2 DLC. So that leaves me with the last point of the video. More DLC characters, excellent. So I will circle back to a point I was making a tiny bit earlier in the video where I said I was a tiny bit disappointed with no new series being repped in the Season Pass 1. So hopefully they will take that and apply that for season 2, because I'm sure many of us would like to see at least 1 new, if not 2 or 3 new franchises get repped and have its first actual representation in a form of a playable character for Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2, right? For example, who wouldn't want to see Fairly Odd Parents, say Timmy Turner, for example? Sure, there's some weird stuff going on with him with legal battle and all that stuff, but who wouldn't want to see that? Or say somebody from Chalk Zone, like Snap or Rudy, for example, would be really cool. Back at the Barnyard, Otis is a pretty big one. He's got a lot of supporters, so it'd be cool to see that. Maybe Mighty B with, was it Bessie Higginbottom? So there's another option. I could keep going. All Real Monsters. We got Oblina taken away from us, so how about you replace that with either like Ekis or Crumb, or hell, even just bring Oblina back. I'm just saying, there's so many there's so many series that can still deserve to have at least 1 rep. Cat Dog, you want to bring them back too? I'm just saying there's so many possibilities out there, so I would like to see that for the 4 other DLC characters. I hope that they haven't been entirely decided on. I'm hoping that they will listen to the players' feedback and see what we want. Maybe some of the cut characters, like I said earlier, they could end up returning. Hopefully they're not paid though, because that'd kind of be a slap in the face. Could be an entire different video topic, but that is it for this one. A lot of big news, a lot of stuff happening for Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2, which releases digitally in less than a week now, right? Isn't it next Tuesday? Or is it Wednesday? It's next week, so hell yeah. Can't wait to get my hands on the game. That is going to be it for this one. Hope you all enjoyed, and I guess I'll see you when I'm looking at you.